Welcome, friends! Your favorite degenerates, Krista and Jason, are at it again! Let's celebrate the day!
What's the situation, Degenerate Nation?
What's happening, Degenerates?
Well, we're back for another fun episode of Bad Internet Cruise Reviews. Today I thought we would do the Norwegian Escape.
I like Norwegian. I can't wait to try it. That's why we have a credit on it.
I would love to try any cruise at this point, but here we are reading Bad Internet Cruise Reviews. So, let's jump right in, huh?
Why not?
All right. So our first one up, basically they say the kid pool was closed down one day because someone defecated in it. Too many people and too much garbage and dirty glasses. Unbelievable poor manners of these people. Dirty feet on tables and furniture, walking around wet with no pants and shirtless men. This is the people of Walmart cruise. Trashy. People passing in public? I think they mean pissing in public. Disgusting. Yeah, you want to give me a little commentary so far?
People of Walmart cruise. Norwegian, I haven't really experienced that, even though we've only been on a ship tour. Shirtless men.
I can't believe they would allow that.
I'm fine with that.
Wet. People walking around wet.
Wet on a pool deck. Are you kidding me? Kids will be kids. If you let your toddler go in the pool, bring those little swimmies. It keeps the floaters away. Yeah, I mean, kids are kids. Everybody's diet's all messed up.
I've never seen anybody pissing
either
on a cruise ship unless it was in the bathroom. I'm sure it's happened. I ain't saying it didn't. And
right.
Maybe this person was just lucky enough to get on the most trashy cruise ever.
Exactly.
Anyway, go.
But it's not Norwegian's fault. I mean, they sold a cruise. People bought it. They don't pre-select.
Well, the Norwegian could be on the hook for cleaning up after the passengers. If someone's peeing in public, obviously that should probably be dealt with.
That's a security issue, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't know the shirtless men and people walking around wet with no pants. I'm hoping by no pants they mean they had shorts on. Maybe that led to the pissing in public part, and it was just kind of a redundant. Yeah. Anyway, they go on to say, during my facial, I was told I should get Botox. I really do, I think they mean, not want some ocean doctor stabbing, I believe they mean, botulism into my face. How dare you, ocean doctor?
Okay, just say no.
Ocean doctor. Oh my God.
Just say no.
Wow. Okay, it gets worse.
They're supposed to up treatments.
We're working on degrading everyone here, and we wouldn't want to get along without further. We've got the people of Walmart and the ocean doctor, and we haven't barely even touched on insulting the crew. So here we go. The Filipino crew will give you nightmares with the way they say good morning and the stupid washy. Never cruising again. Good riddance.
Bye.
Yep.
I don't want to.
Hey, goodbye. This person is just a prick. Okay?
This person just needs to go on their own island, and that way they can complain about anything.
There's an old saying, and you may have heard me say it before. If you meet one asshole all day, it's them. If you keep meeting assholes all day, it's you. It's you.
That guy.
All right, jump into the next one. Straight down to the highlights. Don't forget, we were trapped on the boat for 7 days without docking for 3 days in Bermuda as planned. We paid for Marriott and got the Holiday Inn instead. The itinerary was changed several days before sailing. Weather. This particular one of the encores was out of New York, and it would hit Bermuda.
Right,
and
it's 3 days.
Which is a bit of a struggle for weather-wise sometimes.
Yes, and it's basically 3 sea days. You're in Bermuda for a day and a half, 2 days,
hey, man,
and then it's 3 more sea days. So you planned on sea days in the beginning. I'm sorry your itinerary got changed, but weather happens.
For the thing with cruising is it's really, there's not a lot of difference between it and going to a land-based vacation where you fly.
True.
So if you go to the airport and they can't take off or there's some delay, that's basically like the cruise ship missing its port. They may get you there at some point, but it may cost you a day in your resort or vacation, whatever the case is.
Right.
If you take a car and your car breaks down or there's traffic, this is basically the same thing on a scale that's equal.
Yeah.
So
get travel insurance.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. It's, you know, and they're not going to take you where it's unsafe. They're going to figure out some other thing to do. You've already taken days off. You've already planned a vacation. And me personally, I would rather we figure something out rather than send us all home until we can execute the vacation as I booked it.
Right?
I mean, to a certain point. I know sometimes there have been like 5 sea days and rough seas and all that. I'm saying within, you know, normal.
Within reason.
Okay, to carry on, it goes on to say, I believe NCL should have provided a credit for the difference since the new itinerary was not acceptable to us and was decided well before the trip sailed. They did 0. They shipped us to Port Canaveral. This is not an agreeable destination. It's a dock. That's it. Then they had us put on a low-value rock in the water they own called Stirrup Cay. It doesn't even have a port. This is not a destination of comparable value. The rocky thing that they call a beach had a purple flag, so there's sharks in the water, massive algae slimy rocks in the swimming area, and murky water with seaweed floating. Gross. Let's not forget, dangerous. So in their defense, this particular cruise was bound for Bermuda, and somehow someone genius at NCL decided that Port Canaveral would be an acceptable destination, not departure. So it leaves out of New York and goes to Port Canaveral.
Sounds like the storm, whatever.
Yeah, there was something going on,
way.
and that was. But I feel for the person that wrote this.
I do.
And this little piece. Okay, there's a lot of dick in here, but you know this chunk. My empathy is going.
I do feel
because,
for him.
I think Port Canaveral is a wonderful place to leave from and to come back to, mainly because it's the closest port to our house. But as far as like a destination to go in on a cruise ship, there's not a lot going on in Port Canaveral unless you had a lot of time to go to KSC, the Space Center, or something like that.
But it says that they changed the itinerary well before the trip sailed. So they knew when they got on the boat they were going to Port Canaveral.
Well, they did go to Stirrup Cay.
It's a rock in the water.
They weren't too happy with Stirrup Cay, and that honestly is one of the first times I've heard of that being an issue.
Yeah.
Then they go on to say, horrible to be on a ship to nowhere. They squandered our money. They simply said they don't control the weather. That's condescending, and no one is suggesting they do, but they do control everything else.
Yeah, and they do. They control your food, you know, what's offered. I
don't see any complaints in here about the food or anything like that.
No.
I think they were unhappy with the change. I think they were really stuck in Bermuda. I can understand where maybe Port Canaveral's not the destination.
Totally get it.
Compared to Bermuda, but they did get to go to Stirrup Cay. They just weren't happy with it.
Right. Perfect opportunity to sell travel insurance because, you know, they knew the cruise was getting rerouted, so they could have, if they had travel insurance, they could have canceled their cruise, got 100% refund or cruise credit, and moved on to the next, book the next cruise. Yeah, NCL can't control the weather.
Well, there you go.
Sorry.
So they weren't happy.
Oops.
Next one up. Straight to the highlights. We found it strange that NCL allows shorts and sandals in the dining room. What? That's a thing? Oh my God. The degradation of society beyond control.
I think dining rooms have changed.
The only cruise experience they had was watching the Titanic. I mean,
right? I mean, dining rooms have changed over the last 20
especially
years.
Especially NCL with the anytime, your way, do your thing,
Yep.
They did away with formal night a long time ago. But even on the rest of well, I can't speak for the higher end stuff. But Carnival, Norwegian, Royal, there's multiple nights where there isn't really a dress code.
Yeah, and none of the cruise lines.
Basically, you have to have shoes and a shirt on to get admittance into the MDR.
Just don't have any of your junk hanging out. You're good.
Unless you cruise with the first person, then you don't even wear pants.
Right? But yeah, be comfortable.
All right, moving on. Unfortunately, we found that the unlimited drink package was taken advantage of by people who clearly have no boundaries or filters. They felt they had to partake every second of every day. The poor bartenders and waitstaff had their hands full, fighting, throwing up, taking 12 drunks back to their rooms in wheelchairs. Ah, humanity.
Can I get a wheelchair with my name on it? That way I can get to this.
I don't know that we've ever been so drunk we needed to be taken to our room in a wheelchair. No. Fighting and throwing up. I mean, obviously, you screwed up there. You drank too much.
Yeah, you crossed the line. You forgot what you were doing.
Although, for an outsider, like I've always said, if you get on a ship, you're going to do more of whatever you do. Whether you gamble, sleep, eat, play bingo, trivia, chill, suntan, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you like to do on land for enjoyment, you basically, when you're on vacation, you put that under a microscope and do that 24 times.
Yeah, I feel really...
If you like a cocktail, you're going to have a cocktail on a ship.
Or 5.
And if that look, or 15.
Right?
Or 20.
Yeah.
If that looks to some outsider like you're overindulging, then hey, stay in your lane, bro. Okay? I didn't ask, and I ain't bugging you, so stay in your freaking lane.
We paid for our vacation just like you.
I ain't sitting over there commenting about you not pulling away from the buffet. So, or how you got up at 11 o'clock in the morning and my ass watched the sunrise. So stay in your lane.
Yeah. Alrighty then.
You want to go, bro? You want to go? Whew.
Oh!
Got me fired up.
Whoopsies.
Next one. There are 2 tiny pools that are ridiculously crowded at all times. I guess if you're into the frat party lifestyle where you're constantly grinding against other people all day, you would really like this. For everyone else, it's miserable. Seriously. If you put both pools together, they would be about the size of a typical in-ground pool at a normal house in the suburbs. If that wasn't bad enough, they close all the pools and hot tubs around 10 p.m. Not for maintenance or anything, they just close them. By 11, pretty much everything except one restaurant bar is closed. We are adults looking to stay out late and have fun on vacation, but there it is apparently not on the menu with NCL. Told you.
There is things open later in the evenings, however...
My ass has always gotten tired before I ran out of shit to do.
I know.
I'm talking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, get some friends. If you were hoping Norwegian would bring your friends or whatever, make a friend.
Make a friend. We made friends on multiples.
We made friends
cruises.
On every damn cruise we've been on.
And we're still friends with most of them.
I'm not a dick, so that might be the difference here.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, make friends. You can always have your own party on deck. The ship isn't closed. It's just some of the venues are closed. And the staff works 18-hour days. So yeah, your bartender's not going to be there 24/7. I'm sorry.
I wish he was.
I know.
Right.
I really hope some of the bartenders come back that we liked.
I'm looking forward to bartenders, period.
Yeah.
At this point, the worst bartender I ever had would do.
Yep. Okay with that.
Next one. Straight to the highlights. This ship is just full of kids whose parents got to bring them for free and drunks. I have been on 7 cruises. Well, hey, thanks for clearing up your cruise count with us there. And if you didn't know that people enjoy a cocktail on a cruise, and if they had the opportunity to bring their kids for free, I don't know if they have to be related with you, but if I had the opportunity to bring a child for free, I would find a child. I'd probably bring an adult and maybe find.
I was hoping.
Is there a reverse ID? Like, we used to fake ID. Is there like a fake ID?
No. If our child's over 21, can we still bring him?
It's my buddy Doug Spiker. He's 12. Just a little guy. That's his mom, Cindy.
No, I think there's a lot. Vacations are what you make it, and everybody makes a different amount of money, and everybody can afford a different vacation. And the fact that the cruise lines do offer, some cruise lines do offer, kids for free as long as they're in the room with their parents.
And that's always been the way.
I think that's amazing, because it's affording some families the ability to have a really fantastic vacation where they couldn't otherwise. So
they got to save the money on the kid. It made a very appealing vacation for them. And the cruise ship's going, if we bring the kids for free, the parents will come. And what are they going to do when they get there? They're going to make it rain. All up in this drink package.
All up in this drink package. All up in here. and the drunks. There is some limitations on a lot of cruise lines for drinks.
I really think that the drinkers get singled out a lot.
They do, and Why?
Because it's just an easy target, and we don't really give a shit, right? You know, like,
Yeah,
hey, whatever,
true.
dude. You know, I get that some of the, you know, there was fighting, and if 12 people had to be brought back to their room in wheelchairs, those people don't represent me, okay?
No.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Highlight. The place was like walking around in a funeral home. No music hardly anywhere except at the parties, and the music that was playing on the pool deck, you could only hear at the adult pool. The rest of the deck was nothing but silence. Margaritaville was nothing but a sign on the wall.
I've been in funeral homes.
Despite the evidence to the contrary of every other bad review of how the ships are too loud, here is yet another one that says it's like
quiet.
a funeral home. I think this is our second funeral ome. Maybe this is the same guy that just keeps cruising.
Well, and I've been in multiple funeral homes, and I've yet to see that on a cruise ship anywhere. Even in the game room or the library. In the library, I've seen multiple people just sitting there reading books or playing games.
I just find it hard to believe. Okay.
Maybe the closest to this was the cigar lounge.
I don't know where they were. Maybe they went to the freaking laundry room. I don't know. Anyway, they go on to say, me and my wife was chilling with some people in one of the Haven suites when one of the crew members just started knocking at the door drunk. They let the guy in, and then he started insulting ladies. We literally had to throw the guy out of the room with force, and no one even knew the guy. I paid over $3,000 for this vacation. It wasn't even worth leaving the house for. I was playing Disney movies during the day at the H2O bar. What adult goes and watches a Disney movie without their kids? Here we go again with this freaking Disney crap. Okay, let's just stop there before we wrap this one up. And really, a crew member found their somehow
A drunk
came
crew
to
member.
you in your Haven suite and partied down with you till you had to throw them out. You know that would be absolute and utter chaos, right? That somebody would not be on the ship the next day. I find that pretty hard to believe.
Yeah, I
don't know. I don't have, you know, we've never had a crew member say, hey, you want to hang out later?
I've never seen a crew member drink alcohol.
Well, you may have. They just may have been in civilian clothes.
Right.
I don't. Normally, I don't think that they're
not allowed to fraternize.
Only like certain crew members are on the passenger decks.
Yeah.
I think there should be a function where you get to meet the crew, sort of thing.
I agree.
Where you can go around and just kind of chill and talk to people about what it's like working like this.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool thing.
Disney movies. Do we even want to have the Disney conversation? Because we've paid to go to the movie theater and see multiple Disney movies as adults without children.
Yeah. Actually, that was the last time I went to the movies with the Disney movie, so there you go.
Exactly.
Like I said, what do you expect them to play? Scarface?
Yeah, in the middle of the day on a family cruise line. Watch the After 9 o'clock at night movie. They usually put more adult appropriate.
Well, it's
or adult
kids are
style
going to be running
movies.
around. So the best you're going to get is maybe a Marvel, romance, something like that. You're not going to find some heavy, violent type of deal.
No.
Then they go on to say Harvest K is nothing but a money grab, $8 for a 12-ounce draft, so you know everything is a ripoff. I've been to bars where $8 for a 12-ounce draft.
That's
is
standard.
Relatively common. So the fact that you were in Harvest K and paid $8, I would say you
got a pretty good deal.
You did all right on that deal.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Moving on. Not having a pitcher of water or bucket of ice in the room, as well as no chocolate at night or towel bunny, is cheap and disgraceful. Charging $7 for a bottle of water when I had the all-you-can-drink package up to $15 per drink is also disgraceful. Nickel and diming me for port charges for drinks while in New York should be picked up by NCL. Coffee should be served at the tables at the buffet so I don't have to navigate back to my table with piping hot coffee through hundreds of people walking in different directions. Go to fucking Denny's.
I think they need to go on a different cruise line. It sounds like
what is it? NCL? They do an evening thing,
yeah, I think they were hoping for more of a princess cruise, maybe Holland America.
Look, go stop at the freaking Walgreens on your way out. Grab yourself some little bag of those Ghirardelli squares. Throw one on your pillow. There
Yeah,
you go. There's your chocolate, you cheap fuck.
Port fees, they don't have any control over. They can put it into your cruise fare, but it is a
I can't tell you how many cruises have been ruined by me because my bunny wasn't there.
But the port fees are varying based on the port, so they don't want to
Fucking Willy
put a
Wonka better
blanket
show up
charge.
and be making my chocolate, bitch.
And yeah, I like
here.
the towel animals, but we also know how to make our own.
But yeah, I mean, even if you didn't, if all I had to do was wind my tail up and make a cobra, I'm not going to let it ruin my cruise.
No,
I
probably
wouldn't exactly call it cheap and disgraceful.
I wouldn't even go as far as to post a review on.
And walking around with
that's petty.
coffee. I mean, who allows these sorts of things?
Who allows people
What
to
next?
walk
We'll
with
be
coffee?
allowed to fill our own gas tanks? Holy crap.
Oh, we do that, honey. We already do that.
Oh, never mind. Jesus Christ.
I think there's only a couple states you.
And
can't.
moving on. Highlighted. It was so crowded and loud, no thanks to the cruise director Tyler. Make some noise! What an unprofessional person. How dare you?
He apparently
try to start a
wasn't-
party up on a cruise ship.
He apparently wasn't on the funeral cruise.
Apparently not.
These were on different.
Maybe those two should have swapped cruises, right?
Apparently.
That just, wow.
Yeah. Come on, people.
There is some people you just can't make happy. That's what's going on there. Basically, that's what it amounts to. Is if you're looking for something to complain about, you won't have to look very far.
Right?
All right, next one up. Highlight: all the music, all the venues were too loud to enjoy.
Wait a minute.
Pump the brakes.
Didn't we already just see a review that said you couldn't hear the music anywhere on the ship?
Maybe Tyler, make some noise.
Well, I don't know.
This was his ship.
It is his ship, and we just heard a review that said there wasn't any music. Now they're saying there's music, and it's too loud.
To enjoy. They go on to say there was no music or champagne when we entered this ship.
You get champagne when you get on the ship?
I don't know. Maybe they watched The Love Boat. Or
That's the only thing I can think of, because the Love Boat did that. They
Where
walked
there's
around
like
and,
somebody waiting to put a lay on you, and and then pat you on the little bum bum, send you on your way to your room. Who's a good boy?
Yeah. They need to quit watching the Love Boat.
The music, hey, that would be a mistake. I'll give you that much. As much as this review is just like, wow, the no music when you get on the ship. I mean, there should be some music in nature.
Yeah,
You gotta set the tone, man. You gotta lay it down.
And
This
I
is
think-
what's happening when you get across that gangway onto the ship.
And I've always experienced some sort of music or white noise type of stuff when you get on the cruise ship, just because they want to make sure there's guest services right there. There's all these things going on, so they want to kind of dull the conversations. But they do set the mood, and everybody's there greeting you and hello and welcome, and so I don't.
Maybe they
get it.
accidentally got on the crew entrance. They're like, there's produce everywhere, and there was cases of booze, and there was a washing machine. It took me forever to find my room.
And I had to carry my suitcase for 2 hours.
All right, next review. This NCL ship is now one step up from the Carnival party ship.
Cool. We need to go on that one.
We have never sailed on Carnival ship because of how cheap and awful we have always heard they are. So basically you're comparing an NCL ship to something you have no clue what you're even talking about.
I know that Carnival Cruise Lines is the most affordable cruise lines out there. However,
Well, I don't even know about that. It just depends.
It's not.
What day?
It does depend on the day and the ship and the ports and. But come on, people! If you've never sailed a cruise line, you have no basis
Right.
for your opinion.
Be like me comparing my sailing experience on Carnival of what it's like to be on the world's most expensive yacht that I've never been on.
Right? We've only seen it on
Right.
the TV.
So yeah, I actually don't
On
even
the
know
telly.
if that's true.
Right?
And you choose to write that down somewhere to look
Yeah,
more
you-
intelligent. I mean, keep that shit to yourself in the future, okay?
Well, and we need to take these into perspective. These people went on a vacation that they paid for. They had the experience of the vacation. Then they came home, opened up their computer, and sat down and typed this stuff.
Yeah. All right, next one. This was the worst cruise ship experience ever. The service was terrible from room cleaning to bar service. The attitude on board was horrible. We were sent through lightning storms and rough seas for 6 out of 7 days. Arrived to Bermuda a day late with no explanation. Really? You need an explanation? Oh, never mind. Rained and stormed a bit, but one day we were there. We were told to be back on the ship by 2:30. Why this ship is not redirected to another port makes no sense in my opinion. It was so reckless. So here's one that they found their way to Bermuda, not Port Canaveral. And they're pissed too.
Yeah.
It's like you can't win, right?
No winning.
They came into Bermuda a day late after sailing through lightning storms and rough seas, and they weren't given an explanation. What did you need the guy to tell you?
It's rough seas.
The captain gets on the the thing, and she's like, "Hey, it's a little rough out. Don't you think 99% of the people on the ship would be like, no shit,
no
Captain
shit,
Obvious.
we're
Thank you
doing
for
this
pointing that out."
going down the hallway.
Maybe if they were late and there was no explanation given, which I find hard to believe.
I agree.
You would know that we're going to have to skip this port.
They have little newsletters that come out every day for every
that part I will agree with you on, but if like you were just like, well, wow, why is it Thursday we're here and not Wednesday? This makes no sense to me.
Read your newsletter, folks. Every morning they come out. They do have, it is printed overnight, so they do have updates. Updates with weather, updates with ports, updates with all that stuff. So read the newsletter. Most cruise lines have now updated, so they now have an app that does the same thing.
They go on to make a conspiracy theory out of it. So, in my opinion, you took us into a storm for more than half of the trip and made more money because of it.
How did they make more money?
I assume because they weren't in a port spending money somewhere else. And then they also mentioned that NCL had the nerve to charge $3 per poncho when they tried to exit the ship in pouring rain. And they finished up with nice.
Well, I didn't know that those were included in my cruise fare. That ponchos were included in your cruise fare. Read your cruise contract, people.
Yeah, obviously you're not made of sugar. I can tell that by reading this. You won't melt. But.
And that's another fun fact. I went to the Dollar Tree. For $1, you can get a little poncho. It's in a little itty bitty package like this. Very lightweight. Throw it in your suitcase. That way, if you do need it,
it's supposed to be in your excursion bag.
Yeah.
And they're much cheaper at the Dollar Tree or whatever. And they're basically disposable because you can never get the freaking thing to pull back up from school. You just throw that son of a bitch in.
Just toss it. Call it good.
Yeah, right. You're out of buck.
Yep.
You're going to spend far more time trying to put the damn thing back in the little case. But.
I have two. We haven't.
And we throw them in the backpack. We haven't needed them yet. We've never. Once again, we're not made of sugar either.
No, I'm not made of sugar. Nope. I am sweet though.
Alrighty. And to wrap it up, we end on another really poor experience. Was that the stateroom below our room had a couple that was constantly smoking marijuana, and the smell was pouring into our cabin. This caused many issues, as I had 2 boys with me, and I had to explain to them why there was a constant odor of skunk in our cabin. I had to tell them a skunk may have snuck on board, fibbing, as I could see them smoking when I was on my balcony. Again, Calling Guest Relations revealed the guest below us had a license and was legally consuming the drug.
So I'm wondering, because in the cruise contract states no marijuana.
I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this one. It doesn't matter if you have...
You could call security, you could call other places, you could ask for a room move.
Yeah. If I can go to my doctor and get a prescription to drink after 3 o'clock in the morning, will they let me?
No.
If I have a prescription not to wear pants because it makes me too bunched up, can I get away with that?
No.
None of that shit passes.
None of the cruise lines allow illegal substances. In fact, they do have dogs at the ports. You're not allowed to partake. Sorry.
People are smoking pot on board.
People are smoking pot on board. That is true.
That is a fact of life. If you're going to get on a cruise ship, you're going to smell pot. That's the way it goes. If you don't want to smell it, you better stay home.
Yeah. People do it in their rooms, even though they're not supposed to. People do it on balconies. People do it on the deck, on the wide open. People do it in the hot tubs. People do it. So it's
and it really, your kids don't know about marijuana. You had to lie to them and tell them a skunk got on board.
Start educating your kids now about this.
I don't know how old they were, but
world.
that one seems a little iffy to me.
Our grandson's
I'm trying to
14.
imagine a day where I would have told the kids that there was just a skunk on a ship rather than saying that there were people smoking marijuana.
Probably
I don't
below
know.
6.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll give you 50-50.
But we were pretty honest with both our kids, even though we don't smoke.
No. Hey, Mommy, the guy with the skunk is eating a lot of Doritos.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's
And he'll be at the buffet later.
Give him a bath and tomato juice later. So there you go. Like I said, in all the prior videos, tons of positive reviews, and the Norwegian Escape isn't immune from the people that are looking for something to complain about, or the people that will complain about anything. Overwhelmingly, all the reviews are, most of the, 99.999% of the reviews are very positive. Given the chance to jump on the Escape, you in?
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Your vacation's what you make it. Again, we've said this before. Don't sweat the small shit. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen. Just go with the flow. And remember, you're on vacation. I'm normally, I ride a broomstick on a regular basis. He can nod his head. And then I want to get like really angry sometimes over little shit. And he's like, dude, don't. You're on vacation. And I blow it off. Very rarely have I brought the issue back home. Still frustrated, and none of these issues, I've experienced some of these issues, and none of them would cause me to write a review like that.
All right. Well, there you go. There's the bad internet cruise reviews on Norwegian Escape. Celebrate the day, guys. Thanks for coming.
Celebrate the day.
Thanks for watching. Much love to our friends. Be the good in the world. Spread the love and go on an adventure. Please like, comment, and subscribe.